In this episode, I'm tackling what to do with all our stuff. We have just a few weeks left before we move out of our small home and get ready to live in 15 square metres of van. We are Heidi and Matt, a Kiwi couple who love a good adventure. Previous to 2025, we'd spent a lot of time four-wheel driving and camping around our country, exploring new places on our weekends and days off. But this year, we're about to take the plunge into full-time travel. We've ordered an off-road camper van and are in the process of packing up our lives to pursue a nomadic lifestyle for the foreseeable future. Join us as we embark on this new level of adventure together. Okay, I have got 4 pieces of post-it notes. I'm sorting out my clothes today. Bin it, keeping to go in the van, going to Goodwill, or to put into storage. Now, what's going into storage has to fit in my suitcase. So that is the only thing that is going to be holding clothes. So once my suitcase is full, that is all that can go into storage. That is just a rule that I've made for myself, but that's it. I'm not having boxes and boxes of clothes. I've got stuff for Goodwill. I've got a few bits that I have managed to sell online already, just a few of my nice dresses and everything. What doesn't sell and is still really good, I will drop off to the local hospice shop or Goodwill. Things that I'm keeping, that is what is going in the van, and I have got a list that I'm working from, and then things that are just not worth donating and just need to be thrown out. I have created a list of the clothes that I'm going to take in the van. So there is something like 40 odd items on here, right down to 4 pairs of shoes. I'm going to have running shoes and walking shoes, some sandal things. I've currently got scuffs, and then I've got a heap of dressier shoes and sandals, and I think I need to find myself a pair of sandals that I can wear for casual stuff and round when we're just hanging out around the van, but also that I can wear with some dresses or shorts, if we go into town or go do something semi-casual, something that kind of fits both of them, because I have got a shoe problem. Well, I don't have a shoe problem, but I do love shoes, and I have got quite a lot of boots, and a couple of boots are going to go into storage, but I want to have a pair of shoes that is versatile, and I think something like some dressy-ish sandals will mean that I can wear them casual, and then I can also dress them up a little bit, and that's 1 pair of shoes. So my running shoes, some sandals, my hiking boots, and my cowboy boots for utterly dressy things or to wear with jeans. Those are my 4 choices. Actually, there's 5. My slippers as well. So 5 pairs of shoes. I've got things like togs. I'm allowing myself to take 2 dresses, a couple of accessories, a jacket, a dress jacket, and then a rain jacket and a puffer jacket, because we are going to need jackets. We are traveling in New Zealand, and you need different jackets depending on the weather, whether it's raining or whether it's cold. Bras, sports bras, socks, sweatshirts, long sleeve tops, t-shirts. So things like t-shirts, I'm saying I can take 3. I don't need to have more than 3. Tank tops, 3 or 4. I probably wear more tank tops than I wear t-shirts. Jeans, 1 pair of jeans. I don't love jeans, so 1 pair of jeans will be enough. Tights, exercise tights, 2. I will live in them, but I don't need to take all 5 that I own. Shorts, so some running shorts, some denim shorts, and some Lulu, so I'm actually going to take 3 shorts. Singlets, a skirt, and that's pretty much it. So that is my list. This is what I'm working on when I am looking at what I'm keeping. So I'm going to work off this, figure out what I'm keeping. That will go back in the wardrobe for now until we pack up the house, and then these are my other 3. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon. And by the end of it, my wardrobe is going to look very, very different. So this is what my wardrobe looks like at the moment. This is kind of my half here. Mainly dresses and jackets, and then in these cubbies, I've got the rest of my clothes. So what I'm going to do is pull it all out and sort it into piles. All right, I am done. Come have a look in here. So down here, my suitcase, I've only actually filled half of it. The other half is filled with Matt's jackets, which he needs to sort through. So that's quite nice that I've really only filled half of it. I'm sure there's probably a few bits and pieces lying around the house that can go in there. And I'll put things like my motorbike gear in there, like motorbike apparel and stuff. That'll go in there as well. My mountain biking stuff has to come with me, obviously, but that will fill up the other space, I'm sure. Now I've got this stuff here. I'm going to use it for now, and then it's not, potentially this stuff is not coming with us. So like old jacket, old jerseys and singlets and stuff, and a couple of things that I need to replace. Like maybe that jersey will be good to keep, but like I need to get some new Lululemon tights, so they need replaced, but I'll keep wearing them for now. This pile down here is stuff that I am taking with me, so that's stuff that's on the list. Same as down here, and then bottom is like socks and stuff, and in behind that is my mountain biking gear. And then I've literally got a few things that have not yet sold. Lots of them that need to go. This is one dress that I'm bringing. I think I'm going to keep this jumpsuit after much consideration. I think it will actually be really versatile. So I'm going to keep that. Got my denim jacket. I've got one other dress, and this jacket I think will go in my suitcase. I don't think this is one that I'm going to bring with me. So that's just hanging out there. Fit it pile. And this is stuff that is still good that can just go to Goodwill. And then you, my friend, I'm definitely keeping you. Today is the 10th of March and I'm in the storeroom. So behind me is our linen cupboard and our hot water cylinder. So this is kind of a bit of a multi-use room. It's technically the second room of our tiny house, but it's always just kind of been my office and a storeroom for all of our preserves, and then obviously linen cupboard. Today's mission is for me to clean out this linen cupboard, which also has a lot of stuff in it that's not linen, just random bits and pieces. But I want to clean this out, figure out all the stuff that we are going to take with us, which will be a very small pile. There might be a few things that I need to hold on to just while we're living here. It takes turning the place into a bomb site before it looks better. So I've still got a shelf down the bottom that I need to pull out, and like all of that linen over there already, like all of that is stuff that we need to get rid of. And then the rest of it is actually not linen. So the rest of the stuff in here is like cleaning products. There's a whole tub of like first aid stuff and medicine that I need to go through. But I almost don't have room to move in this room. It feels like there's an awful lot, so it's always a bigger job than you expect it to be. And kind of like I did with my clothes, what is going in the van, what is going into storage, what are we getting rid of? The other day I started the job. Actually, I pretty much finished the job of the linen cupboard. I want to show you what I got achieved because the floor is cleared. So I managed to get rid of a heap of our bathroom towels and everything. I managed to give them away to someone that will use them for like pets or something. So this is what's left, and Matt has actually asked for, they're like old sheets and bits and pieces. He's asked for them to be put aside. He's going to cut them up and drop them off to his work because they can use them for like clean up rags and stuff at his work. I've got a tub here that has got stuff that needs to go to people. So I've got like some cotton yarn that my mother-in-law will love, and just a few bits and pieces that I can pass on to friends and family. And then this is the linen cupboard. So I've sorted it into shelves. So the top shelf is stuff that we're going to take in the van. So there is the Thermomix travel bag for my Thermomix, and the Thermomix is actually coming with us in the van. So that will be all packed up with all the Thermomix gear. I've got camera equipment. This is just a dog towel for Teddy. And then this pile here on this shelf is stuff to go into storage. So first aid, medicine stuff. I've got a couple of documents. This is a box of random bits and pieces that I still need to pack away into separate containers. But a lot of this is actually cables for tech stuff. So that will go with my office stuff into storage. There's funny things like irons. You kind of like, do I bother putting something like that into storage? But one day down the track when I need to iron some clothes, I don't want to have to go out and buy one. You know, potentially I can just borrow someone's if I'm staying somewhere. But I'm kind of like, it doesn't take up much space. Maybe I'll just put it in storage. I've got a couple of towels. I'm keeping these ones just for now. Again, these are just like dog towels. And I'm just keeping them for now, but I'm definitely not going to take 3 dog towels with us. This stuff will come with us, like literally a couple of tea towels and a dishcloth and that kind of thing. That will come with us. And then there are no spare sheets or anything in here because we are only taking 1 set of sheets for the bed in the van. So they're on the bed at the moment, so there's no spare linen in here, so that was a massive cull down. Down here, this shelf is to get rid of after we shift. So there's a few things like I've got some duvet covers and bedspreads that are going to a friend for another lease of life. This is my pressure canner, and that is also going to a friend. And hopefully I'll be able to do some pressure canning when I visit her, but she is going to look after that for me. This is also stuff that I'm holding on to for now. A lot of it is cleaning gear for cleaning the house before we shift out, so I need that, but potentially I won't bother putting that in storage. And then the bottom shelf is stuff that is staying with the house, other than that, which I noticed that Matt just put in there the other day. I've got seeds and bits and pieces for the garden. And our house is actually coming almost fully furnished, and it's kind of been sold as a lifestyle. So they're getting the full experience, which means that they've actually bought quite a lot of the appliances. They have bought a lot of the furniture, and things like the garden is kind of a bit of a like a going concern. So there's seeds and stuff going with the, saved seeds from Devon Cottage that is going with the place. And so there's a few bits and pieces, including like my garden record book and that sort of stuff. That is all going with the house. So there's a few bits and pieces that I've put in that bottom cupboard for now. The other side is the hot water cylinder, and I did have some jackets and stuff hung up here, but Matt and I went through the last of our clothes. So I'd already sorted my clothes, but Matt went through his clothes and sorted out what he's taking and what he's not, and we also went through all our jackets and stuff as well the other day. So that is all done. So there is really only this side and my office desk, I guess, but there's really only this that I need to sort through. But what I wanted to show you is actually, so in a linen cupboard, usually there'd be maybe a little bit more linen, like some bath towels and stuff. However, we don't have any more bath towels because we've actually just changed to these Turkish cotton bath towels from Stoked NZ. We've just been trying them out because we need a fast drying light towel that doesn't take up heaps and heaps of room to go in the van. So we're trying them out to see whether they will work. They're really, really lovely, beautiful cotton towels. They are very light, so they have taken a little bit of getting used to. So we think that that is what we're going to do with the van. We'll just have a towel each and one for the dog, and because we're going to be having to do our laundry in a really regular, like we're going to have less clothes, less linen, and we're going to have to be doing laundry regularly, like, each week. I mean, we do laundry every, multiple times a week now anyway, I guess. But the thing is once you're living in a van, you only have maybe one or two sets of stuff, right? So, yeah, I guess that will just kind of change a wee bit. Our plan for laundry is to use the laundromats around the country. There are so many of them. I see them popping up in all the small towns and bits and pieces now. So we've kind of factored that into our budget. So at home, I guess the thing is that when I change the sheets on the bed at the moment, I put our spare set on and then I put the others in the wash, and I don't have to worry about getting the one set washed and dried in the same day. Whereas when we shift into the van, that's going to look like stripping the bed, doing the laundry at the laundromat, putting the fresh sheets back on the bed, because we're just not going to have the space to store spare sets of everything. So to give you a bit of an update of the timeline, we shift out of here middle of April, and our van is not going to be ready for delivery, for us to take delivery of it, until late May. So we are going to be living in the wee studio off the side of the garage at Matt's parents for just over a month. That month that we're there, we've actually got a lot going on, so it'll probably feel like we only spend a few nights there in reality. But that is the plan, and everything so far is on schedule with the van. So it should be finished in its production line over in Australia on the 28th of March. That's the date that we've been given, and then it's probably going to be about 8 weeks from leaving the factory for it being ready in Auckland for us to take possession of it, give or take. So it's got to be shipped over here, and then I guess there's a bit of New Zealand compliance stuff, like with the gas and the electrical and self-containment and that kind of thing. So that's the way that the timeline is looking for us, which has actually worked out really, really nicely. And when we take delivery of it, as Matt said in our last video, there are a few things that we will be modifying to it before we kind of set off on our road trip. So we have to obviously go get it from Auckland and bring it back. We're at the opposite end of the country, so that will be our first shakedown trip, is actually bringing it
home, so that we can do the things that we want to do to it, pack all the things into it, and get ready to hit the road. So when we are staying at Matt's parents', we're actually going to take our deep freezer that is full of like frozen produce and home kill meat and all sorts of stuff. We're actually going to take that there, and all the preserving from the garden, that is going there as well. So all the stuff that's in the storeroom is going to be going there, and staying in the pantry and the studio room at their place that we're staying in. And that is just going to be there, like Matt's parents will be able to pick away at like all the sauces and preserves and stuff. And it also, that's going to kind of be our base when we come back for summer and family events, and just as a bit of a base in between travel trips, I guess. My family and Matt's is pretty local to Southland. It's definitely still going to be a base, and when we come back, their property will pretty much be like our park-up base. And so we'll restock our freezer with some stuff out of the deep freeze, and we'll take some preserving and stuff away. So for a while we will be continuing to enjoy some of the stuff that we've squirreled away over time from our property. So I'm not having to get rid of all my preserving stuff, and I am actually going to keep all my preserving gear. It can sit in storage, and yeah, we'll see. There's every potential that probably half of the stuff that we do put in storage in 12 months time, we'll look at it and be like, why did we keep that? Because it inevitably seems to be what you do, right? But we have the luxury to be able to have storage with family, so we're going to store maybe a few bits and pieces that we will eventually get rid of. But in saying that, we only have a small house to pack up into storage. It's not like we are storing, a full 4-bedroom house like we previously used to live in. There isn't all of that much that is going into storage. So I'm feeling quite happy with what I've achieved so far this week. At least now I know what will come with us and what is going in storage and what we'll get rid of. Like, it's very organized in the linen cupboard, and I've pretty much done that in the bedroom already. The bathroom is fairly well done as well. So I just need to do the other half of this room, and then I will be tackling the kitchen and the lounge. It is the 27th of March, so we have got just a few more weeks left here. In fact, less than 3 weeks, I think. And my house is in chaos. We have done a heap of sorting and packing over the last week or so since I picked up the camera. I have to show you, I have got a full set of these beautiful copper measuring cups, and this is how invested in van life I'm getting now.
This is a quarter cup, and it's the only one that I'm taking. So I've got a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and a quarter cup. And the reason why this is the only one that I'm taking out of the set of like 5 that I have is because it is nice and small. I can measure 4 lots of that, make a cup, 2 of them make half a cup, quarter cup, and it's just a small thing that I can take. So that is how much I'm thinking about van life. In here I've got like, these are the bare essentials that we're taking. The knives, we're down to 4 knives. We're down to like 4 knives and forks, 2 each of the spoons. Like, that's what we're thinking. So we've got 4 boxes, not even 4 boxes, of stuff that we're putting into storage from the kitchen. Things like cast iron cookware and like nice bits and pieces that we like, oven trays and that kind of stuff, that one day down the track, if we have a kitchen again in a house, I don't want to have to reaccumulate. Like, I don't want to have to buy that stuff again. So I'd rather put it in storage and know that, you know, we can always get it out. Less than 4 boxes, not heaps. In terms of things like plates, I haven't stored our plates. Our plates are actually just going in the garage sale. So what we're not taking with us, we're taking 2 plates, 2 bowls, 2 side plates. That's it. Glasses, mugs. And I haven't put the rest of them in storage just because, I don't know, I just think it's an easy thing to reaccumulate again down the track if we need to. And yeah, there's no point putting some of those smaller things in storage. So it's the bigger stuff that we've kind of put in storage. It's a real hard one. I have really struggled with what to put in storage and what to just get rid of and not bother storing. There's some things like that are really simple, like my cast iron Dutch oven. I'm not going to sell that or get rid of it. I may as well put it in storage. It's a lifetime piece and I may not get to use it while we're traveling, but maybe one day down the track I'd like to have that still in my collection. But then there's other things like I've put away a heap of like storage containers, and I'm kind of like, why keep storage containers but not keep our cutlery and our plates? So I don't know where to draw the line with that kind of stuff. It's been a bit of a weird one packing up the kitchen. This corner is pretty much all pot plants that are actually staying with the house. So all of our personal effects are gone off that shelf. I've got a couple of boxes down there of frames and stuff. I kind of don't want to take the rest of this wall down until moving week, because otherwise it just feels like we are not living here. So I've got some personal effects that I'm keeping up there. But that is, yeah, that's pretty much it. We are living in a very much half packed up house now. Good morning. It is the 1st of April and we have less than 2 weeks until we shift out. Our house is a state of boxes and we are definitely in the midst of packing. There is stuff everywhere and lots of things being sorted out, but I think we're on the home stretch. We have got pretty much everything sorted into piles of what we are taking with us, what we are putting into storage, and what we're getting rid of. So we have got 12 days left here before we shift, and I've still got a to-do list that feels like it's a mile long. However, everything is sorted now. Like, we're doing a garage sale on the weekend, on the Sunday that we shift. So really this week I've got like odd jobs, like I really need to clean out the fridge, and I need to do some weeding in the garden, random bits and pieces like that this week. And then next week
all the bits and pieces that aren't yet packed up, I'm going to start putting into like temporary boxes, so that when it comes to shifting day, we will literally just be taking those boxes with us to our temporary accommodation. Everything that is to go in storage will be finalized, being packed, and then we're ready to go. I feel like I'm on top of things. I think it's felt surreal for so long, like knowing it's happening, but it just, it didn't feel like it was happening, and now it feels very real, and I'm starting to get quite emotional, like when I walk around the house and it doesn't feel like my own, and the gardens, and just enjoying all the little things about our home. And I know that there's going to be big tears on the day that we hand over the keys, but at the moment my to-do list is keeping me busy, because we were already living quite minimally. It hasn't felt too bad, but it is still crazy what you accumulate, and there is just no room for, we'll take that with us and we'll see if we use it, sort of thing, or like, we might just keep that. Like, when you are moving into 15 square meters, you have to be so decisive and just think about things in a different way. Like, right down to things like, we have got rid of our box cheese grater and got one that's like a slimline, so that it doesn't take up so much space. Like, just those little things that you have to think about, efficiencies that I just, haven't in the past, because you've always had the space. So yeah, there's lots of those sort of things that we've had to think about, but it has been good to take the time to do that, rather than doing like a massive pack up and then trying to sort out what's going to go in the van. I have really enjoyed having structure to like sorting each room and making piles and knowing what's coming and what's not, and to be able to visualize it. I think that's probably just my personality, but that has definitely helped. Once we do get the van, I am actually going to do a full video of all the stuff that we are taking with us. So like, actually visualize it. I have a bit of an idea already how I'm going to put that video together. So you'll be able to actually see all the stuff that we've decided to take. We're very lucky that we have got storage space with family to put some of our belongings into storage, but man, it's been an eye-opener to the things that we have got rid of as well in this process, like just the things that we don't care to keep. And it's funny because we don't try to be materialistic, but you just accumulate stuff, and then when push comes to shove, you realize that you don't really care for a lot of it. So that has been an interesting process. If you have made it to the end of this very waffling vlog, then thank you for sticking around. Hopefully the next video to come will be us going and getting delivery of our van. It is mere weeks away now, so we're very excited for that trip to go and pick up our van and drive it back down south from the North Island. So that will probably be the next vlog, and we will take you along for that journey as well.